Hey everybody, it's Jonny Guarco. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to do a quick video on how to read stock charts for day trading. So first thing that we do when we open a chart is determine the trend. You can see here on AMD, we are looking pretty bearish. At real life trading, we love to trade gaps. So we're always looking for gaps because gaps cause emotions, right? They either cause the fear of missing out or the fear of losing profits. So we're always looking for those gaps. Let's look at AMD real quick. We had a bearish trend, obviously retested. This descending channel came down, hit support, and now put in pretty much a bullish high wave candle, right? So we're thinking, all right, bearish trend. If we break this bearish trend, that would be what we call a gap and go. A gap and go is a gap that goes in the opposite direction of the previous day's candle. So if we break down here, we have a gap and go, and they do exactly what they say they do most of the time, is they gap and then they go. And if it breaks up here on the bullish side, then we'll have a retest gap. And what retest gaps like to do are gap, come back, retest, and then break. So let's see what happens on AMD. We'll go to the 3-minute charts, break, and get this up here. You'll see extended hours on my chart. Over the previous day, we had a bullish day, right? White candle. And then overnight, we basically just came on down. So we're gapping, looks like we're gapping down. Let's look at the first candle. We get a big bearish volume candle. Okay, so we're breaking the lows of pre-market. So we're looking to go bearish at this point. Yes, it is a gap and go. So we're looking very bearish. We get another big candle coming in. This big red line is my 10 EMA, and you'll see that's tracking down as the bearish candles come in. We then get a retest of the 10, exactly what we're looking for. We use a 10 EMA strategy. In situations like this, we have bearish candles coming in, and then we have a bullish candle coming back, retesting the lows of pre-market, and also the 10 EMA strategy. This is a beautiful setup for us. We love to go in these cases, short on these kind of setups. We're looking to take, depends on how conservative or how much risk tolerance you have, but we're looking to go short down here, somewhere about 85.50. With a break like that, you could put your entry here and do something like this with your stop up here. I personally like to look for where the 20 EMA is on my chart too. So you can see we have the 10 EMA. Here is my blue 10 EMA. The green is my 50 EMA. 10 is my red EMA. And this is my 100 EMA. So on something like this, what I look for is maybe a potential retest. We have a lot of selling pressure in here. So if we put our stop up in here, we're pretty safe. We're above the 100. We're above the 20. So I would do something like that, 85.53 by pretty much 86, about 81. And then we'll go ahead and play this out. So you can see potentially maybe not got triggered in there, but we still have some indecision going on right now. There you go. There's that retest of that 20. So if I didn't get triggered in here, what I would do is I would move my stop down and cheat it a little bit, because at this point, if we break this low, we are going lower. Some people, depending on their risk tolerance, they may even put an entry here and put a stop, something like that. That would be a little bit more of an aggressive entry. But let's say we're a little bit more conservative and we keep our entry down where it was, and we have our stop. Forget the exact number that I use, but somewhere in there, and we'll see what this gap and go does. It should gap and then just roll over and go. So we got a little bit of an S curve here. We're looking for this to break down bearish, and boom, there we go. Depending on how you target, I use my 15 minutes. Well, first of all, I'll use my average daily range. I got my tool over here. Says AMD moves about $5 average daily range over the last 14 days. I'll then run in and look at my 15-minute chart. That's what I use predominantly for targeting. I look for support down here at a good target, somewhere down here about $5, which would really be about way on down here. So AMD has potential to roll all the way down there. I'll get my tool up here, which gives me a price range, and I'll look to be where about $5 is. So you can see AMD over the last 14 days has moved about that much. So I'd probably throw in my target there just because we have some support down there. And this is very bearish at this point. I'd be getting pretty excited. And you can see this will break down. Purple line is my VWAP, volume weighted average price, which takes into account volume and price when it calculates its average. And boom, we'll run through this. We're going to get a little bit of a retest, and then bam. So you can see that was a quick 2.5 hour trade. So that's 2.5 times the risk. Beautiful gap and go. That thing was gorgeous. It couldn't have acted any better for us there on the 3-minute chart. That's when we trade the 10 EMA strategy on that 10 EMA 3-minute chart. So beautiful trade there. Let's go look at a retest gap real quick. We'll go look at Tesla. Let's go to the day. I picked a beautiful retest gap a little bit earlier. Let's get our chart on here, ready to roll. Go back and replay. So retest gap, what we expect it to do is just do that. Again, looking at the trend. So if you look at Tesla, we are in a bearish trend. We're making the lower highs. We'll throw the 10 EMA strategy on there. So we're looking at this point, you saw we broke lower on Tesla. We had a high wave doji previous day. Then it looks like we're going bearish. So we'll see if we break down again and gap down, then we're going to be executing a retest gap, because it will be gapping in the direction of the previous day's candle. If it gaps up here, then that's a gap and go, because if it breaks above here, this bearish candle right here, and it gaps above, then that would be a gap and go, because it's going in the opposite direction of the candle. So let's see how Tesla works out and see what happens, how it breaks first thing in the morning. So you remember previous day, we had a bearish day. So let's see which way this breaks. It looks like, well, we get a high wave right off the bat. And then it looks like we could potentially be breaking higher for a retest gap, because remember previous day was bearish candle. So we gapped down, and now it looks like we're going to retest and execute a retest gap. So as you can see, we are moving upwards, retesting. We could retest, let's throw all our moving averages on there. We could just be retesting potentially maybe this 100, 200 area. We could be retesting these highs of pre-market. So let's see what happens here. So I'm looking for a retest gap, continuation to go bearish, right? Because we gapped down below yesterday's bearish candle. We got a retest still going on. It looks like we're retesting that 200, that blue line. And now we got a little bit of indecision, potentially some selling pressure that's going on here. You see these upper wicks, and then we still got a little bit of indecision. It potentially looks like we're going higher, right? But then we got the bears potentially going to sell off for profit up here at the 200. And then it looks like it's starting to roll over. So here's our retest, right, from previous day. Let's see if we can get underneath that 10, a nice close below that 10 EMA, and retesting, kind of struggling a little bit. Looks like we're even going higher now. So we continue higher. We broke higher, then we're coming down. And now, as you can see, we retested, and it looks like now the bears are coming in. So we have a beautiful retest right here of that 10 EMA. Let's throw on our 10 EMA strategy chart. You can see we have a little bit of selling pressure. So it looks like Tesla is getting ready to roll over after doing a pretty big retest. So if I was going to play this, I'd be ready to play this short again. Again, depending on your risk tolerance, where you like to put in your entry, you could put your entry in something like that. I'd throw again, see, make sure that I'm below the 10. I got my stop here above the 200. So that's a pretty good stop. And we'll go back down here to the 10 EMA and see what happens from here. So we're retesting that area again. If we break here, now I can lower my entry or my stop a little bit and get it a little bit tighter, because if we break from here, then it should be going lower. Boom, you got a breakdown. You can see down here is going to be about one target at about 1 R. I like to look for some targets usually down about 1.2 Rs. I'd put my target down there and see if we can get a break down there. See what happens as we plug through this. And pretty much, boom, we hit our target for a quick 1.24 R trade. So you can see back on the chart, you can see what we did here is Tesla gap down, had a pretty nice retest. Let's throw all the EMAs on there. Had a nice retest of the 20 in this case, and then just continued down the rest of the day. So that was just a quick little tutorial. Let me go show you. If you're not a subscriber to Real Life Trading, please go here, reallifetrading.com. Go to our website, sign up. You can get all kinds of free information and free classes. Look at all these. These are all new, free beginner, intermediate, advanced trading. You can now get a funded account through Real Life Trading. You can get a $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 account. So lack of money is not an excuse not to check into trading anymore. And then the last thing I want to show you real quick is when you sign up, you'll get all this free information. What I wanted to show you is, boom, right there, 4 different types of gaps that we like to play and how we play them. And here is a great ebook on candlesticks, what kind of sentiment that we look for in candlesticks. You got a bunch of free classes. So check us out. Smash that like button and that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and come be part of that team. Thanks for joining me today. Aloha.